Hi, coming up, shots, doubles, a great book, and of course, Ask Barb on helpmysquashgame.com. Hi, and this is Barb Cooper from helpmysquashgame.com, and welcome back. As kids, we were always taught that good was good and bad was very bad. I want you to think about that on your squash game. And instead of looking at your shots as good and bad, think about them as effective and ineffective. If it's effective, keep it. If it's ineffective, modify it. But you don't have to berate yourself. So let's talk doubles. And I see so many players playing on the red line, which is fantastic. I love the fact that everybody's standing on the red line, volleying the ball and not letting the ball go by their opponent. The problem that I see is that they shouldn't be able to reach the ball when they're standing on the red line. When you're hitting the shot to your opponent, you're trying to get the ball past them or at least make them move either up to the front or to the back of the court every time they have to go and get your shot. Yes, you want to play every shot from the middle of the court on the red line. You don't want to let the ball go by you. But your opponent? Absolutely not. Your opponent should be struggling to get every one of your shots. And I want you to pay attention to that. Don't pay attention necessarily to how it feels on your racket. Pay attention to where your opponent has to go to get your shot and to retrieve it. That's what we're looking for. Anyway, start thinking about it and noticing it in games and notice what your partner's doing. It will be very revealing. A fellow coach and friend of mine, Spider Jones from Northwest Territories, gave me this book, Mind Gym. It's written by Gary Mack and David Cass Stevens, and it's got lots of very interesting ideas about how to improve your inner excellence. In other words, your psychology. Check it out. It's a simple read, but it's got some great practices in it. And now it's time for Ask Barb. And I got a great question from a fellow pro.
Hi Barb, my name's Craig Shiele. I'm the head pro at the Parkview Club. I get this question all the time. What do I do against a very tall player and what's the strategy with them? Thanks.
Hey Craig, I get that question all the time too. And I love actually coaching people who are tall because I'm going to try and make sure that they never let the ball pass them. But when you're playing a tall person, one of the biggest things I think you should recommend is keep the ball low. Make that person bend. Usually tall people have long backs. They don't want to be bending down for low, short balls. So for me, I would recommend lots of boasts, even from behind your opponent, as long as you follow them up. But keep the ball low and make them dig into the corners, make them go up to the front of the court, make them reach for the ball all the time. And then, of course, if you do want to hit the ball past them by using a lob, you've got to remember, it's got to be at least a foot higher than anything else you ever do. So I would tell them to start thinking about hitting the ball over the rafters again. Do you remember where you go from one red line to the other and you make the ball pop out over those red lines and then back in on the court? Even get them to think about hitting the ceiling. So if they do hit a high ball, it has got some chance of going past that tall person's head. It's my thoughts. This is Barb Cooper from helpmysquashgame.com, signing off.